Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Rest. In this video, we're going over a brand new Amara build. Well, I guess technically not brand new, but this is going to be my overall just best level 72 Amara build. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting something like this. It's just overall going to be what you can take in pretty much any content in the game and just be able to destroy stuff with it. You can use pretty much any action skill, but obviously for the main part, we're going to be using Tiles Divine because it's just insane. And this is the build that's just going to incorporate any gun you want to use, like just any playstyle you want to use. This is going to be the build for that. Now, if you want to try this build out, these builds are always located in my Discord channel. Link to the Discord is in the description. If you're down to build, enjoy the video, find it helpful in any way, consider subscribing and dropping a like. It really helps me out and our community grow by getting these videos out there for everyone to see. I truly appreciate it. So starting off with gear, as you see, I have a bunch of it. Like literally, this is all level 72 gear right here. The main thing we really need to go over is more so the anoints in the weapon itself, because like I said, the weapons you can kind of use whatever. Obviously things like the free radical, hellwalker, you know, just anything, no pew pew, all these really good weapons, Becca, even things like the hell and the crit over here, insanely good. But like I said, the main thing are the anoints. So with the nerfs to some of the anoints that we have gotten, the best anoints on Amara now are things like on Axial End, you get 100% bonus damage for the next 2 mags, and this anointment right here, you know, killing enemy grants 13% weapon damage and reloads for 25 seconds. I actually have a whole video on this. It was my previous Borderlands video. If you guys want to go watch that, I will link in the description below, and it kind of explains why this anoint is so good. But as a TLDR, it stacks up really fast on Amara due to Tiles Divine, and it works well with other anoints, and you can combine them together and just do some absurd stuff with them. So when you are trying to farm for weapons or reroll anoints, be sure to be on the lookout for, you know, this anoint right here and then this anoint right here. And also for bossing, obviously things like phase cast anoints are still good because you get that big 250% weapon damage bonus. Things like the phase slam anoints are good as well. Obviously a crit with the phase slam anoint is insane for boss damage, and you know, you can make a lot of stuff work. I have a bunch of just phase cast, phase slam anoints, you know, next mag anoints over here with a bunch of really good and fun weapons, and I think you guys are going to enjoy a lot of these. Now for shield, Revolter with an axial start, this is still just the best shield in the game. It's, you know, gonna make you super offensive. For 15 seconds when your shield breaks, you get an absurd damage bonus, you get more fire rate. It is ridiculous how strong this shield is. And obviously on somebody like Amara who can spam action skills, you're gonna have this pretty much up 100% of the time on top of all your other anoints, and you're going to be able to just literally destroy everything in the game. Now for grenade, you can run whatever grenade you want. I just prefer the It's Pissed just because it applies 20% debuff when you throw it on an enemy. Plus I have all 5 of the axial elements over here, you know, corrosive, then I have, you know, cryo, shock, incendiary, and radiation. We all know what the elements are. Really good grenade. It's also can take status effect elements off of you. So as you see, they are level 50, which is good because obviously, you know, if you have a really harming status effect on you, you can just throw this grenade on the ground, take it off of you. And again, it has a 20% damage debuff. You can throw it on other enemies, and obviously the axial anoints are really good. Now, class mod, Phase Wrecker is just the best class mod in the game. I know a lot of you guys want to see other builds with other class mods, and since this is just the overall best build, you can expect to start seeing more fun builds here soon. But for this, we're going to be using the Phase Wrecker, and I have a couple over here. This is just a generic one with weapon damage, SMG damage, charge speed, but I have more like weapon damage, sorry for damage over here, weapon damage, SMG damage, happy crit damage, splash damage, weapon damage, axial damage, weapon damage, Jacobs, crit damage, sniper damage. It's just a bunch of little different ones. It's depending on whatever playstyle you're going for, whatever weapons you're using, can be really good. Then for the artifact, Pro enough with knowledge is just going to be, I guess, overall the best go-to. You get a stacking damage bonus. You get a huge damage bonus when it gets to max stacks. This gives you more fiery and magazine styles, but I also do have some company mans over here, or company men, I guess might be the way to say that. I have, you know, Atlas, COV, Jacobs, Vladov, and then Maliwan. Again, whatever weapons you're running. And I also have a cut person launch pad if you ever need to refill your ammo. I figured I would also include this in just like the best all-around build, even though you do have access to a ton of weapons. If you ever need to refill ammo on the fly, you can use this, slam the ground, and you're gonna have max ammo for, you know, whatever weapon that you're holding. But that is pretty much it for the gear. If we go over to the skills, this is what's gonna be, you know, the most important in this build. So starting Mystical Assault, we have 5 points to do harm. This is going to give you some more axial damage based on the amount of rush stacks you have. And if you don't know what the Phase Wrecker does, you're going to get max rush stacks when you use your action skill. So you're going to get a ton of axial damage at all times with this. And if you use something like Tiles Divine, the linked targets will take increased damage. Or if you just want to run another axial like Phase Cast, your Phase Cast will be able to instant kill enemies as well. But the main thing is that mobbing value with Tiles Divine is insane with do harm. 3 points in fast hands to get more reload speed, weapon slot speed, and motion speed. Since you're going to be able to use a variety of weapons, this is going to be really good if you ever need to swap in between what you want to use, or if say it's, you know, mode switch weapons, you can swap the modes really quick. It's really nice. 1 point valid tapestry to get down to the bottom. This is just going to help keep your rush stacks up as well. When you apply a status effect, you'll get a rush stack, and they won't decay as much. 2 points in alacrity, so we give more reload speed based on the amount of rush stacks we have. This is also really good for keeping uptime on your damage, and this also pairs really well with this anoint right here, because you're going to get a ton of reload speed from this as well, and you're going to be able to just slay a bunch of stuff really fast and just have instant reload speeds. 3 points of transcend to get more accuracy and critical hit damage whenever you use our active skill. This is obviously really good for bossing, but it's also really good for mobbing as well, because this will proc with ties that bind, and it's going to be even easier to hit your target even though the target's really not moving, but that bonus crit damage is going to be nice as well. Then I have 1 point ascendant to buff whatever axe skill augment we're using. You can run anything you want to. Soul sap is good for survivability. I like stillness in mine just to lock everything up in the air to make it easier to kill, but again, run whatever you want to run. This is just going to buff all of them. 3 points of late bear to get 25% more damage to whatever enemy is affected by our axe skill. This does also apply to ties to bond. All the linked targets will take 25% increased damage, which obviously works really well with do harm as well. But for bossing scenarios, if you hit an enemy with a face slam or a face cast, they will also take 25% increased damage. And if it's pissed, they'll take 20% more. And this is just a really good debuff skill for 3 points. Then 3 points of wrath to get some gun damage, just 20% more after you pop an active skill. This is pretty good. If you want to take something like from rest to get more charge speed, if you are focusing on melee on weapons, and you get a little bit more fire rate, this could be good as well. But wrath is just probably the best option to get that extra little gun damage. Awakening 30% bonus rush stack effectiveness. This is going to buff things like do harm and violent tapestry as well, which makes it even easier to instant kill enemies with ties that bind. Then 1 point of remnant. You only need 1 point this. This is essentially going to spawn an overkill orb that goes out and kills another enemy. The way I like to view it is if you kill an enemy, you're essentially going to spawn an orb that goes out and kills another enemy. So you're killing 2 enemies with killing 1 enemy, because the amount of like stacking damage that goes into this thing is insane, and it 100% of the time pretty much kills another enemy. And 1 point avatar, so we can pop an axe skill twice before cooldown, which is really good. Also, you get 10 bonus rush stacks, which is also really good. And if you kill an enemy with your axe skill, you actually refund half of your rush stacks to keep all your other stuff stacking up, which is again also really good. Avatar is one of the best skills in the game. For Amara, it is ridiculous. Having ties that bind or to be able to clear out entire rooms just with one axe skill is already insane, but this is just letting you do that twice if there's a big room of enemies, and it is just ridiculous. Now, getting to Fist of Elements, we have 3 points of steady hands, get more handling and accuracy. This is good for literally almost any weapon in the game. Now, 5 points in diffusion, so we're going to convert 40% of our damage to whatever action skill element is. And if you look, we have access to all of the action skill elements, so we can change to whatever element we need. The reason I'm taking this is a lot of weapons in the game now actually are typically only set to one element. Some of the better weapons like Plasma Coil is only radiation and shock. Free Radical is only shock. Breath of the Dying is only corrosive. Hellwalker is only incinerate. Crit's only shock. I think you kind of get the idea. Even something like the Hell Shock is only shock and incinerate. So with this, you can change the element or whatever those weapons are, and you can start doing a lot more damage with those. And speaking of doing a lot more damage, Tempest obviously is going to buff your elemental damage by a lot. 20% more shock damage, which is good for the Revolter. 1 point Illuminated Fist, so we can get 75% more melee damage and convert our melee to whatever our element is. And the reason I'm taking this is because it works with sustainment. 1 point sustainment. This is all you really need. With the amount of damage you're going to be doing with your elemental weapons, you're going to always be healed to max. But if you are at close range, you can melee an enemy with the Illuminated Fist, and it will proc sustainment, and you'll just essentially get max health with one melee, which is really nice. Now, 4 points of Wildfire, so we can get down to the bottom. Plus, this is also going to start spreading all your elements around that you're doing. This will help proc things like Armageddon, which is nice, and you get a little bit extra bonus damage. Now, 1 point Dread, so whenever we phase grasp an enemy, we're going to do 15% more damage. And on top of that, if we kill that phase grasp enemy, our guns are instantly reloaded, which is really good. It's just going to help keep uptime up on your damage as well. Plus, that extra damage bonus you have is really nice. And 1 point Deep Well, so we can buff all our elemental weapons, their magazine size by 20%, which is nice. You're going to get some more bullets in your mag. 3 points Indiscriminate, so whenever we shoot an enemy, our bullets have a chance to ricochet. And when you're shooting a phase grasp target, they have a higher chance. This is going to help out with Clear the build, even though you don't really need it. But this paired with Ties the Bond is just ridiculously strong. Then 1 point Catharsis, so whenever we kill an enemy that has an element on them, they're going to explode. We can do some extra damage, which is nice. Then 1 point Forceful Expression, so we can buff our damage. We're going to get 18% of our damage doing dealt to whatever axe element that we have equipped. So if you have Incendiary equipped like we have now, we're just doing bonus incendiary damage based on 18% of the damage that we're doing. It's really, really good. It's a nice damage buffing skill. And since we're level 72 now, it's a pretty much a no-brainer to go down and grab this because it's just some nice extra damage. Now in Brawl, we have 3 points of personal space. So kind of the same way Forceful Expression works. Whenever we're close to an enemy, we're going to get bonus damage up to 54% of the damage that we're doing. And you're pretty much going to always have this proc. Maybe not the 54% bonus, but this has a huge radius, and you can essentially have just bonus damage anywhere you're fighting anybody, which is really, really nice. Now, 2 points of clarity, so we can get down to the bottom that I'm trying to get to. This is going to give you a little bit of health regeneration. It's really not that important, but I have 5 points of health enhanced since we are spamming axe skills a lot. We're going to get 40% damage reduction, which is nice for survivability. Plus, pair with sustainment, you're going to be able to just tank so much stuff. Then I had 3 points left over, which I actually put in arms deal. This is going to give you a little bit of splash damage reduction, plus a little bit more splash damage, which is nice. If you want to put these 3 points literally anywhere else you can, something like Fire Center might be good. Mindfulness might be good. Samsara could be okay if you're not focusing on ties that bond. Even Vigor right here might not be awful. But then in the last skill tree, I have 5 points of trusting yourself. This is going to give you some bonuses when you shield breaks, give reload speed, charge speed, and weapon swap speed. Since we're really focusing on our shield breaking to get our bonuses up, this is going to be procced a good bit of the time, and this also is giving you access to the cryo axe skill element if you need to run cryo, which is nice. And overall, this build is just insane. It's going to let you use, like I said, whatever weapons you want to. This is the whole skill tree. If you just want to, copy it down, I'll just scroll through it really quick. And trust me, it is one of the most fun builds on Amara, one of the strongest builds on Amara, and I highly recommend you all try it out. But that's going to do it for this just overall best level 72 Amara build. No matter what you want to run with this, no matter what playstyle you want to do, you're going to be able to just destroy. And like I said, since this is going to be, I guess, the ending of god tier Amara builds that I've been posting, I'm going to start posting way more fun builds that are, interactive and such, to use different class mods, stuff like that. They're obviously still going to be really good, but they might not be the best of the best, can clear every single piece of content type build in the game, which I know a lot of you guys actually prefer anyway, because just running the most OP stuff can get a little boring at times. So I really hope you guys are looking forward to that, because I'm excited to start making those types of builds for you guys. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. If you switch anything around, what guns you like to run with it, I would love to know. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.